So the big reason, if you're thinking Minnesota, Memphis, is if there's an Edwards thing going on here that would be like kind of generational. It wouldn't just be like, oh man, remember that one? This would be something different would be going on. There's a chance that this guy is truly special. You go.
Yeah, that's kind of what it like. Wait, what if he really is this guy? Because he had this weird lull towards the end of the regular season, which I'm just going to admit it. There are times where I feel like the D'Angelo Russell combo with him, although this has been a better version of D'Angelo Russell. Like my thing with D'Angelo Russell is this: he does the hard things well, and he does the really easy things poorly, and so it can still fuck you when he's going great and scoring and dishing and his skill. But then it's like, why can't you do these other little things that are a lot easier that can lead to losses? So I've always felt like that's. Even though I want a couple scoring options from the wing, I wondered if that ever got in the way of Anthony Edwards. And when Edwards is like, all right, you know what? I just think I'm going to take over here for a little while. And then he started doing it again at the end of the regular season. And then what he did in game one, this is sort of more getting absurd here, but like, could we be on the cusp of, all right, I don't even want to say this out loud because I feel like it's stupid. But my favorite example of like, oh, okay, so this is real. It's when LeBron got to that awful Cavs team to the NBA Finals. They beat Detroit. They get swept by the Spurs. That team was not good. I always joke that LeBron deserves a half a ring for that one. And then it's like, all right, well, this is what now it took. The rest of it took a little bit longer than we thought. And I'm not saying Edwards now is going to carry the Timberwolves to the NBA Finals, but if this is as real as you and I think it could potentially be, then maybe this is what it's going to be. You know, like he's that special that I'd at least allow myself to have this thought where other 7 seeds, I'd be like, whatever, you got the first one. Memphis is too good. They're going to figure this out.
He turns 21 on August 5th.
That's right. Same birthday.
It's early. I don't want to jinx it. He had some knee issues already in March, right? He wasn't, all of a sudden was just shooting threes. But I've been there for a few of these now where you can see some of the signs. Like Kobe was a good example in the late 90s when, you know, and sometimes they're trying to force feed the next MJ thing. MJ was retiring. People really wanted the next MJ. And it wasn't really until that 2000 playoffs and the comeback against Portland in Game 7. But then when Shaq fouled out of that finals game in Game 4, when there was a serenity and a confidence to Kobe where we all kind of looked at each other and we said, oh, he's got it. This guy has it. You know, you go back to like Jordan against the 86 Celtics when he's just going toe to toe against what I think is still the best or the second best team of all time. And he's just completely fearless and just 100% confident and just carrying himself differently and beyond unafraid of the moment, like kind of like relishing it and soaking it in. So you think of that. The Edwards that we saw in the playing game in the game yesterday, it was beyond alpha doggy. There was a swagger to him that's just really, really rare and really special when you combine it with a ton of talent and then this athleticism that's pretty ridiculous. So look, super early. I don't want to jinx it, but if you're just talking about, are you just hitting these little baby steps? He's hit a lot of the baby steps.
All right. So fair question. Do you think Anthony Edwards has surpassed LeBron in the LeBron MJ conversation? Should it be MJ Anthony Edwards? Is that or is it too early for that?
How about this?
Look, he does. There is something about the way he carries himself that feels like, oh, this is what he's supposed to be doing. He's supposed to be taking over these games. And then just to listen to him afterwards, where he's so comfortable, he's, man, I love playing here. Like the kids tell you suck and whatever. Like there's a calmness, or
calmness is the right. Yeah, that's the right noun.
There's something more almost like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. What the fuck are you guys like? Why are you surprised? Like, no, this is what I do. Like, this is what I'm going to do. So
I'm amazed this hasn't happened sooner. Like that, like is getting mad at us. What do you think?
All right,
I feel like I'm a little late with this whole thing.
This is better than your Saquon Barkley's the best running back of all time thing, which was it August before his second season? I forget. Because I would rather be late than early, because I think the misses are when you're too early on this stuff. But you and I had both had a moment earlier in this regular season where we're texting each other being like, I have the Timberwolves like as a featured event at the house because of this kid. And they were just better. They had a toughness to them. They're figuring things out. Finch has done a really good job. I think, we mentioned the kind of carryover from last year, but this is This is the kind of stuff where you go, wait, did we get one of these guys? Which is different.
This is really important. That's the key point of this. This weekend was the first time where we all wondered that. Where we wondered, like, wait, is Edwards gonna be like a guy? Like, not just like a really fun guy? Like Ja, we did this early in the year, but it was more the sense of this guy's so freaking exciting. Did we get another one of these like mid-'80s Dominique, Jordan type of just super fun athletes where every game there's three things? The Edwards thing's different because I think he really thinks he's the best player in the league. Like we always talk about that sometimes. Like if you asked him, if you were like, you did the thing where you get, what do you have to drug the person? What's the thing you did? Truth serum? What's the real life version of truth serum?
I don't know.
It's like laughing gas or whatever.
JMO sidecars.
I don't know. Kyle probably knows. If we gave him that, I think deep down in the deep recesses of soul, he thinks he's the best player in the league. And we saw
which is a super dangerous thing for a lot of players, by the way.
Well, that was what was interesting about yesterday. He never felt, and Kyle Mann made this point in the Ringer NBA show. I thought it was a good point. It never seemed like he was going, I'm hot, give me more. Because sometimes in the past, Edwards would, if he's feeling it, he would always take that one jumper too many.
Always.
Or that
there was
one
always
play
that
too many.
Three off to the side where you're like, well,
he couldn't resist.
Right, yeah.
Yesterday was not like that. Yesterday was a guy who was just in control, who every time they needed a bucket or a play, he made it. And I don't, considering that he's not 21 yet, I don't quite know what to make of this. And if I was a Timberwolves fan, I would be losing my fucking mind. Because like Tatum had moments like this in his rookie season, right? In that playoff run where he would go toe to toe with that Cavs team for like a quarter. Be like, oh my God, did you see when he went toe to toe for a quarter? Tatum took this team that was the 2 seed and was the best guy on the floor. And it wasn't close, by the way. He was the best guy in that game. And it was like, if you'd never watched a basketball game before that, those are where your eyes would have gone to him. That means something, I think.
All right, question for you. Who would you rather have, Tatum or Edwards?
Well, but that's why we're having this conversation. You would take Tatum because there's more of a body of work, the whole thing. The Edwards upside, I don't know where to put it. Tatum, you always knew. It was like, okay, I see where this could go. I see what the ceiling is, and it's super high, and I'm delighted. Edwards, I honestly don't know what the ceiling is.
Right, but Tatum,
I don't know where to put it.
Tatum had that weird dip stretch, too, where you go, wait, is this guy not going to be as good as we thought he was going to be? We were going watching what he's doing in 2018.
And maybe Edwards will have that, too. He's 20.
And because Edwards is a different profile, too, of like when you drafted LeBron, you knew. And look, we're not comparing Anthony Edwards to LeBron. All right. So I almost felt dumb about doing the Spurs analogy, but I was just trying to think of something.
No, I think it's fair.
What if there's a playoff run here? But like it's not Duncan getting drafted. Hell, it's not even Anthony Davis. It's not Derrick Rose getting drafted. This was a weird draft at the top because you were like, how special are the top one guys? Oh, Cade would go number 1 in that draft or whatever. So maybe the buildup around him was just more muted. So now to see where he's at now, not that it feels unexpected, but he just didn't have the profile as one of these generational type guys. And now we're asking that question.
Rose, I'm glad you brought up because I think this is probably the last time something like this happened. When 2009, Rose's rookie year, and he's going toe to toe with that really good Celtics team that didn't have KG anymore, but was defending the title, and they had that awesome round 1 series.
That was the Rondo series, right? Where he was
right? That was the Ray Allen, the double OT game. I think I wrote a column at the end of it wondering if it was the best first round ever and going through all the first rounds trying to prove that it was. But that was like Rose. After that series, we all agreed Rose has it. And 2 years later, he wins MVP and he became one of the guys in the league, and then he got hurt. But that was his arrival. I think if they can beat Memphis, it will be because of Edwards. Like we could talk about Towns and Russell hit some threes and Beasley and Patrick Beverley, but it will really be because of Edwards. I think the difference with this series is that if Minnesota beats Memphis, it's going to be because of Edwards. And we could say, Towns had that good game 4 and Beasley had that one game off the bench and Russell hit. But Edwards will be the reason. It will be a best player in the series game. And I think this is also an awesome test for Ja. Because Ja got a lot of love this year. It was all deserved. They played really well without him. And when he comes back, I think sometimes they lapse into, all right, Ja, you're a Superman, come save us. Whereas like if you watch them when they didn't have him, there was a lot more ball movement and a lot more, a lot more ball sharing. On the other hand, they have kind of the same issue the Celtics have, where if he's not hitting, they don't have that one like guaranteed I can get a shot guy. The Celtics really only have Tatum, and I think for them it's really only Ja. So we'll see. I think it's the most fascinating series other than the Brooklyn-Boston series.